All right, we're going to go back now live outside the federal courthouse in New Haven, where Jamie Muro is standing by with one of the jurors in this case by the name of Timothy Anderson. Jamie?
Mr. Anderson, thank you for joining us today. It's been a long haul, 3 months here. We haven't been able to talk to you for obvious reasons. I want to go back first to the guilt-innocence phase of this trial. A lot of evidence, but it came down to what for this jury as to overwhelming factors. The defense admitted he did this, but is the word easy here to find him guilty?
No, absolutely not, because we, like I said, I keep saying constantly, we made decisions collectively, and there were no bickering or arguing about it, and there were more, I would say, sobbing, and even myself, I sobbed a little bit, but it was really heart-wrenching to make this type of decision.
What was the most difficult part of this case for you? Was it the autopsy photos of the girls? Was it just the mere fact of how this man has lost everything?
I went to school for mortuary science, so that didn't really bother me, the photos actually. But it was a long and grueling process.
In the end, the death penalty, you deliberated for basically 5 days. How did the jury reach its decision as to why this man deserved death and not life in prison?
Just alone, the aggravating circumstances. I finally came to grips with the aggravating circumstances also, even though I do believe that I was the only one fighting for life in a sense, but from a standpoint socially, it was really horrific.
Because when you look at it, the judge is clear. You're following a pattern as to what an aggravating factor would be, and then collectively you come to that decision that if he meets that criteria, he has to be put to death, correct?
Oh, absolutely correct. But to me, the mitigating factors also had a lot of weight for me, because the fact that how a person grows up and how a person life is structured. But they also, the defense did say that he does fine in a structured setting. So even being in jail during the death penalty, he still will be in a structured setting, regardless whether he had life or death.
That was probably the biggest of the mitigating factors, was the fact he was sexually abused. His family wasn't supportive in a secular sense.
See, I'm telling you, it is so much to really grasp, because it's unbelievable how he did grow up, and then what the crime that was committed,
Mr. Anderson, thank you for your time, your service as well. I appreciate it. Have a good evening. Timothy Anderson, one of the jurors, actually right now the only juror that is speaking publicly to the media at this point, and we're going to send it back to you in the studio.